So what we've got here is another D-Link IP camera. And if you're interested in the series of videos I'm doing on IP cameras, click on the link at the end of this video. Now, the two previous cameras I've dealt with were actually movable cameras. And this one, I'm pretty 100% sure that this is a stationary camera that you can use. Now, this is my second D-Link camera, and I'm really happy with the end-to-end service that D-Link does offer you. As long as you set up your camera correctly, which is a pretty easy process, you can view your camera on your home wireless network or outside of your home wireless network through the internet. So that's really the benefit of this. Again, it's an end-to-end solution where you don't have to do a lot of fiddling around with a lot of settings and whatnot. So it's pretty simple to use. And I would definitely recommend, at least on my previous D-Link camera experience, I would definitely recommend this series of cameras just based on how user-friendly it is. Now, this is a 480p camera, and I think that that's definitely sufficient. I don't need high definition when I'm looking at an IP camera, and the reason for that is you just want to know what's going on. You don't need the high definition on it, and 480p is definitely good enough. Now, the reason I say that you don't really need high definition is because with the more pixels that you're pushing, the slower it's going to be when you actually view this outside of your home wireless network. If you're just viewing things on your home wireless network, that's fine. You could go with a higher speed camera or a higher resolution camera, that is. In this case, this resolution I think is perfect when you're viewing things outside of your house, whether you're 10 miles away, 100 miles away, 1,000 miles away. You don't want all that information being pushed because it does slow down the viewing experience. So 480p in my experience is definitely sufficient. If you find that you would want a 720, they do offer 720p cameras. So this is the D-Link with MyCloud, and that's how you actually monitor it through an app, or you can monitor it online, either or. I generally do it on my cell phone because that's what I have with me when I'm on the road. And if I'm in the house, I generally don't need to view what's going on unless I'm in a remote area of the house and I want to check it out, and generally I would do that through my cell phone as well. So it says view live video from iPhone, iPad, Android devices, or Windows Phone. I'm going to be using an Android device. It has integrated night vision and motion sound detection. So depending on the camera that you do get, you can have certain things happen, such as notifications on your phone, when it's tripped with motion. So if the camera detects motion, it can actually push a notification to your phone if you set it up that way. And the night vision, I think, is table stakes as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't want an IP camera that doesn't have the night vision, because a lot of the time when you're checking in on some of these things, the entire environment will be dark, so you do want that infrared camera on there. It says it easily connects to your existing home network for remote viewing. Again, that's outside of your network if you're doing it 100 miles away or something like that, and on range devices. It has a compact design and flexible placement. Now, the one reason I went with this camera instead of the cameras I've gone with before is that it has a smaller footprint, and I did want to put this on a windowsill. So it's going to be pointing in, not pointing out of a window. It's going to be pointing in. So again, it's a day and night camera. It's going to hook up to your home wireless network. It does do wireless N. Now for me, I use a camera and I look at my porch on my house, and that's generally for packages because of my channel here. I do buy and sell a lot of stuff, and when I do purchase something, I want to know if the package has arrived or not. So if I'm not home, I can tell. So that's really a good feature there. But for the normal person, you might want to use this to monitor your pets, or monitor your children, or just for home security. And in this case, with this camera, I thought, well, why not put an internal camera? I did want to try out, one that wasn't maneuverable, something that was a little bit more affordable. And I thought, well, why not just point it inside the house and, check on my cats when I'm gone or something like that. If if I go on vacation or something, make sure that the house is still standing and they're okay. So, it just shows you that you get peace of mind, and you can view it on, your computer, your phone, or even your television set if you do have a D-Link streaming media player. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get this thing open here. Let me get my trusty cutter out. And let's see how we get in here. There we go. So here's the camera itself. What you'll notice is that you have obviously your 480p camera there. You have some infrared lights around that camera. So what that does is when it goes into night vision mode, those light up. Infrared light, so you don't really see them, but that will light up the scene so the camera can do the night vision. Up here is a sensor. I would imagine that's a light sensor, and it says D-Link network camera there, and it's all of course white. You do have your D-Link branding here, and it's a glossy white plastic. So I put some painter's tape on some of the more important bits here, but on the back you have your power port here, your Ethernet jack here, and you have some lights over here. So this is a power light. This is a reset button back here. Of course, you put a little pin in there, and you can reset the camera. And then this is a WPA light and a WPA button. So the camera is mounted on this base here, and it pivots. So this is a ball joint here, and it pivots all the way around, which is cool because you can actually mount it the way you want to. And the ball joint is pretty tight, so it's not, you know, rattling around or anything like that. You can actually hear it squeak, it's so tight. Not too tight where it's not functioning, but definitely firm however you want to place it. So if you're going to place it down, however you want to put it, you can definitely orient this the way you want it to. Now apparently what you can actually do is you can obviously put it down like we showed you here, or you can actually mount it to the wall. So there's 4 screw holes here, and it looks like there's a piece that comes off of here. So let's get that out. Just going to grab my trusty cutter here, and it looks like there's a little notch there, so you can actually pop this little collar off here, and there we go. And then you have your mounting points here. So in that case, what you would do is you would pull the camera off, and interestingly enough, that loosens the ball joint, this little plastic nut here, and you have this base here, which you can mount to whatever surface you want, whether you want to mount it down there, whether you want to mount it on a wall. You can put your screws in there. It only comes with 2 screws, so you know, you just use 2 screw points. Of course, this is a very light camera, so you don't need all 4 screw points to be engaged. And then you have the collar here that covers up those screws again, and then you can put the camera back on the base like so. So it's a versatile little camera, and again, I'm anxious to try it out. Now let's see what else is in the box here. First up, we have the power plug, and it's nice that it matches the white of the camera itself. Sometimes you'll get, you know, devices that are white and you get a black power plug. It's nice that this actually matches. You get an Ethernet cord. We have some mounting screws here. I would imagine that's for the base. The base will hook into it. Then you have some documentation here. Connect to more. And you have the actual D-Link manual right here for this particular camera. And then you have some warranty information and all this good stuff that we probably never read. Here it looks like you know, it has a little bit more better description of you know, what's going on there. Like I said, you have those IR LEDs, you have the light sensor, you have the camera lens. You do have a microphone on this, so this does pick up audio, and that would be right down there. Now it only does one-way audio though, so it doesn't do two-way audio. So pretty cool little device. I'll see how it works, and maybe in a future video I'll actually show you all of the ins and outs of how it works. But that's going to do it for this video because it's just an unboxing. So thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see, please subscribe, or you can actually, you know, spread the word about my channel. But most important of all, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Be good to each other.